All right, that was big.
It's those sudden death games. They can be tough.
Well, it's interesting. We didn't have a single one in the first set.
Good overhead by Murphy.
Hey, put a little cut on it, bites into the side screen, starts to die back there, and Barker can't get himself in position. Disappears off the screen. Oh!
There's those soccer skills.
My scoring to 15-30. 30 love.
Great return.
Nice. And Murphy reads that. Barker's got to keep his eyes forward, call out the blitz next time.
You can see Murphy's positioning. He's one in that forehand.
Oh, no, he's just standing in the center, and they're deciding they're not really going to give him much. I mean, you know. And if they do, the shot they play, they just sort of hit that sliding one out to the side wire, and it gets a little beyond. Oof.
40
That's a good point.
That is a good point, and it's surprising back there. It seems like there's a little energy dip here from Barker and Lofgren. And it's a big moment. And you can see Murphy actually dialing up the overhead, a few more spin overheads here. He's starting to put some action on it. He's going to cut it again. Oof.
Oh.
Great job.
Smart choice.
Nice.
40-15.
Tough to do in the moment, but it is good to leave one if you're losing the momentum there like Murphy was.
Right. And
Hagman's back there.
Drop shot on that volley, but oh, so good.
Game.
Beauty.
Hagman Murphy. They lead the second set 4-3. Barker Lofgren won the first set 6-4.
We got a little momentum shift.
Oh, definitely a little, you know, definitely you could see, at least, you know, from my perspective, I could see there was a little energy drop from Lofgren and Barker. And then, you know, Murphy definitely dialed it up, put some extra spin on the overhead.
And that's, you know, if we go back to that 3 to 40-15, they're up. And obviously Lofgren wasn't trying anything too crazy on the overhead, and no one ever tries to miss the shot. But I think it's more about recognizing when moment's big.
Sure.
And trying to really be extra sharp on those moments with your footwork, with your focus. That's really like learning to play the points. So all of a sudden now you're down.
A little deep in the court there, not really moving forward. Hasn't seen probably a lot of them, so he's getting antsy. Oh, nice hands there from Murphy.
This created some movement like you like to see.
I do, actually. I thought that was
great.
a great play. I thought that was a great play. Like I said, you know, early on, make Barker move. Hard side backs, deep at the body at him once in a while.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely want to see more of that.
And what he did that was great about it is he held it and then popped it in there, and it was that actually had some deception, and he was not ready for it.
And that plays to Hagman's strengths. He's so good at that deception, so definitely see more of that.
Ooh.
Good moving by Murphy. Brad, would you say the higher the level gets, the less effective that dink or off-pace drive becomes?
Yeah, for the most part. And it goes, actually, for me, it almost goes beyond that in a sense of, like, the problem is, what other shot does he play from that position? You know, you hit a ball like that to a number of players, and, you know, if the dink is the one, the dink's only going to work if they're really afraid of the drive, right? You know, so... What I like now, those are tightening up, playing, you know, good long points, staying in it. And
They're doing a good job of keeping it away from Murphy.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of doing that. And then they're also, nice slippery overhead. That's that one we said.
30-15.
Sneaking it behind, but we haven't seen Barker at least get a cut in a long time. So he's definitely stopped hitting the off pace to his backhand.
They got the scouting report.
All right, so we got some other scores coming in as well.
Oh, tell me.
Kayla Rams up 6-1, and it's 3-all in the second set. So they took the first set. Kayla Rams, our #1 seed.
And they're playing Christian and McGrath?
Yep, Christian and McGrath. And then we have Baxter and Heath winning their first set and winning the match, actually, 6-3, 6-1. So good job from them against Lewis and Triplett. You know, I think that is a dark horse team. When that team was playing, it was a very, very good team. They had a nice combination together. You know, they played well together. Two super nice guys as well.
Good move there. No,
And
absolutely. No one will be happy to see them in the early rounds. They are tough.
No, it's a tricky draw, and you know, actually, who gets Baxter and Heath next is actually Barker and Lofgren, who went on to win against you know, their team of actually another Baxter and Valinets, and they won 6-2, 6-1. So good job for them. That's going to be an interesting matchup there. Baxter Heath against Crick and Lofgren. What a terrific quarterfinal that will be.
That is going to be a great quarterfinal.
Oh, such great hands.
34.
Well played there. Murphy sticking volleys there. All right, so another opportunity here for Hagman Murphy. They go up 5-3, and they do, and you just feel, to me, it's like maybe there's enough of those dink and dunks and dunks, and they're tired of moving back up to the net. That just looked like a tired volley there.
And that's what it can be, right? It definitely can be a long game thing, where the more you get the person just frustrated of having to go forward and back and always unsettled, it can be, that's where you get the misses.
All right, so 5-3 now for Hagman and Murphy. Great job. There was just that moment where it was starting to get away from him, and they right the ship. Oh! No! Wow. There we go.
Murphy coming alive.
Well, they're getting slower, getting back in on these dinks now.
What would your counter to those dinks be, Brad?
I mean, it's actually it's tricky. It's a tough counter because if you go in, they're holding them enough where they're dinking and pushing it back in there. You just got to make sure, you know, if you can keep the volley, you know, slower, higher, and deep, but then you're still playing long points, you know. Then you can't. Then you can see them coming a little easier. See, they're playing dinks on harder overheads down, and then they're just sort of boom, you know, dunking them right there, right? You know, on a quick ball.
all.
You slow the overheads down, let them drop a little more, play them longer into the court, or let a lower contact point happen. The dink becomes less effective.
30,
now they're getting
15.
some breaks. Hey, Murphy saying sorry, but you know, you earn your breaks. You get them, you earn them. So good job. Oh, and Barker just went for the house
40-15.
there.
There was a frustration. He was not happy
frustration.
that this may go to a third.
Oh, no. Good chances here for Hagman Murphy. Got to close this out now, up 40-15, essentially. And there it is. And
There it is.
great
Game and
closeout
set
from
to Hagman Murphy. Sets are 1-all. Set
Yeah, so
score
it's
is 6-3.
just a great closeout for those guys, Hagman and Murphy. But a definite to me, Mark, you could feel from that moment on when they lost that game at
2
up
minutes.
3-2, when they made their
2
three-game run, Mark. I mean, you know, they made that error, then they lose that game. 3-all. To me, it just seemed like a complete energy drop.
Yep.
You know, and all of a sudden those dinks started becoming effective. Then they got some blitzes behind them. You know, Barker and Lofgren slow to the uptake on a few different balls.
And that's all it
Okay,
takes times.
Jay.
One or two errors here or there. Murphy, I think
I'm
Murphy,
with
I
you.
think did a
Thanks.
great job of you know, pushing the tempo a bit. He was moving
Yep.
around, looking
Thanks.
for more forehands. Hagman stayed steady, and those dinks did start to earn a couple points.
Yeah, it did, and he also did a couple of good changes. You know, early on in that set, he started up the tempo on a couple of things, and he upped the tempo once or twice. You know, with the hard overhead to Barker, I still think that's going to be a great play. And the longer
Jay?
this match goes, the better those
Somebody
plays
give
will
me the
start
high
to become.
side.
Yes. Physically, Hagman and Murphy seem to be, if the longer the points go, the longer the match goes, it's going to favor them. So they can definitely start to create that movement. They seem like they're going to be fine out there all day. Did you, when you were playing, Brad, did you have any things that if you had just won a second set, you wanted to go straight into the third? Or did you take your time? Were you?
I think
What,
the
what did you
important
do when
thing
you
is-
had the momentum?
Yeah, the important thing is actually, you know, this time, the break they're taking, there's no way you can speed that up. So you're just using that time. And I think the important thing is to stay in the moment and in the zone of the things that got you there. And actually, to be honest, I think you know what we're talking about, what we're seeing here is a couple of kind of crucial moments in either set where we think the set has turned. You know, in the beginning, that loose ball there by Murphy, you know, on a go back. Now we can't say that defined the set, but it certainly made a difference in that game that went to 3-all, and then the no-ad game was won by Barker and Lofgren. And here, just that drop in tempo when they were up 3-2, and went back. So it's just been this momentary blurts. You just got to stay with what got you there. And, you know, and from Lofgren and
After
Barker,
this game.
they're just going to have to, you know, sort of regroup and just get back in there. So there we see the draw again that we were just going over before. Baxter,
Let's
Heath,
have a
Frick,
look.
Lofgren. It's a good-looking quarterfinal there. I'm excited to possibly get a look at Baxter Heath out there again because they had nice chemistry on the court together, the way they played.
Absolutely,
Hold on,
that's
please.
going to be a barn burner.
You know, and Ryan, you know, Baxter's
Okay.
just got so
Ready
much
to play?
talent, you know, and but when he played with Heath, he was playing much more disciplined, you know. At various times, I've seen him play, he can thump the ball like nobody, but sometimes it was a little arbitrary. And
Sure.
if they play with discipline like they had in the past and they had that great chemistry on the court, it's a definite dark horse team.
I'm excited for that one. All right, third set is up and going.
We got Will Lofgren starting the set off. His partner to his left, Rob Barker, in the all black here on the near side of the screen, a far side. Tom Murphy hitting that lob on the deuce side, and his partner Brian Hagman in the blue cap in the backcourt. So
Hagman and Murphy out of Indiana. We've got Barker and Lofgren here in Ohio. So the hometown team looking to pull it off in the set.
Yeah, we saw Murphy definitely up his tempo and start working some good attacking overheads. See that continue. It definitely made a difference for them.
For sure, he looks hungry. I like it.
Yeah,
He's got a little fire in his eyes.
and it's like he stole a bit of their energy when the moment was right. Hagman just seems kind of nonplussed one way or the other. You
Correct.
know, the energy doesn't emanate one way or the other from him.
Which can be a good thing on a team.
Sure. Rip there from Lofgren.
Oh,
15 love.
Oh,
30 love.
now that I'm not sure was the right time. You already hit the dink. Tough shot.
$40 love.
Well, I guess if you could get it out of your system, get it all out in one game.
get it out early.
Yeah, right. Just a few loose balls
Game,
there, and that's
Barker Lofgren. They lead the third set 1-0.
This is a big game
Ball
just for
game.
momentum.
yeah, and that was just a loose game. I mean, just for Hagman Murphy, they just got to have a short memory there and just let it roll, because that was just 4 bad errors.
Ready?
But
Did you have any patterns when you were playing that you would go on a walkabout? Whether you were, if you're up 3-4 love, you would generally drift off somewhere. Did you have any things that you know about yourself?
oh yeah, absolutely. There would be moments in time like that, or in little batches of getting, having to maintain your discipline, or missing one return, then all of a sudden having a slow batch of a couple of returns. It was usually better off if I started a lob again until I found it another time. And sure, I think everyone does. There are moments. It's a lot of mental energy expended in paddle. You can't just end a point right away.
Murphy taking some confident cuts. I like it.
There's a roller there from Hagman. Nice. They're going to keep working the Lofgren backhand. So there's a ball that's going to get hit.
Oh!
Yeah, but mistake overhead. He's going for a spinner there. He's got to just find it, but then
15
great
love.
move right back. Quick strike there.
But yes, you got to look for balls that are going to make Barker move, as you're saying.
15 all.
These, it is enticing when you're the overhead player to get into these rhythms of trying to cut it and do all these things, but you got to look at
15-30.
who's on the other side and how can you hurt them. These cuts don't look like they're going to do too much to Barker, but maybe if you can make him move, it's going to be a story.
Oh, good little scoop from Barker there. Oh boy.
15-40.
Barker wanted the overheads again.
I mean, he just made a random switch there, but he gets away with it.
Wow.
Oh, top of the net dribbler.
30-40.
Great hands. And that might be something similar that they have to change. Stop driving at Murphy. When he's on top of that net, he's been hitting. I think you start counting his winners.
Yeah, it's been pretty even up. He's missed a few too, but he's definitely letting them know he's going to go there. But terrific job there. And he does have good hands. You see Barker using that down the line lob. I think that's huge for him. Keep him out of his corner and look for that forehand in the middle.
Game, Barker, Lofgren.
That's 2-love now?
Yep, 2-love, so that's a good start. But that was an interesting game, though. It kind of just, we've seen just too many misses right now from Hagman and Murphy. We all know that it's so hard. They put so much energy into trying to come back in that second set and get the win. But they got to maintain the same kind of focus, get rid and just
30.
clean up those errors.
Yeah, because that game, it actually felt like they played better and they were up and they still didn't win it. So that's a hard place to be.
Yeah. I mean, but mostly they just, it was a fault. And then, went for maybe a cut at the wrong time or a misplaced overhead. It's just little this, little that. And they lost it,
15-30.
15-40. Great job there from Lofgren reading that volley, sticking it at Hagman.
All.
Mark, when you were playing a lot, how many lob errors would you say you would give yourself in a set?
Game,
I don't know that I tried to give myself lob errors. I tried to think a lot about not missing wide. That was one thing I focused a lot on. Some days it was better than others, but I really tried to give myself a big target. I didn't get too. I counted more drive errors because I felt like my drive wasn't. It's not going to hurt someone that much, so it's not worth me bleeding out 10 errors. But lob errors, I was generally pretty consistent, but I didn't count them too much.
Yeah, I guess what I was getting at, if you really want to win a match, you can't make more than 1 or 2 lob errors. Almost a set. It's more what I was driving at. But it's a big, crucial game here. It is a sudden death point. Doesn't show it on our scoreboard there, but Murphy and Hagman are down 2-love. So what a difference between 3-love and 2-1, right, Mark?
Absolutely. We saw it in the second set there.
They're going to battle this point. I like it.
These are the points where you really got to keep the feet going.
And look at though this. They're going to get primed up for a dink here at some point because every overhead they're hitting is a down up hard overhead.
Yep.
You're watching Lofgren and Barker go. They're just slamming them down. I would love to see them let the ball drop a little every now and then, but
like that one. That's a great point, Brad. With as a counter to the dink, just to emphasize what you were saying earlier, that lower contact, deeper push overhead makes it a lot harder to dink.
They're just content. I love it. Hagman Murphy recognizing the importance of this point. They haven't gone for a single shot yet. This is just a mental exercise. They're like, we're going to hit, you hit 100 overheads, we're going to hit 101 lobs. I wouldn't even say they're attempting to specifically even create here, Mark.
No, I think they're just saying to Barker and Lofgren, you go for it.
Exactly right.
You go for it this time. We've gone for it before. I don't want to do it this time.
We'll see who cracks or who makes the shot.
Oh, keep the feet going.
And Hagman, he's like a blocking machine. He just keeps that paddle in front of him, and they're content to just slam it right back at him.
Did you talk to your partner during points a lot?
Well, between points a lot.
Oh.
Oh.
What happened?
Something's in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
It's a drone up there and a 10-minute point.
I don't know, guys.
He's gonna hit the drone.
He's gonna pick
It's a
it off
no-fly
out of
zone.
No, but
I
I
like
see,
that.
You know, in a point like that, he's just completely getting, flummoxed by it.
Just gotta catch a breather. I like that move.
You know,
I've never
really
seen a lead for a drone.
I mean, technically it is a hindrance to some degree. If he wants to call
Deuce.
point, I mean, so it is still, still sudden death
You
point.
lead
They're going to
2
play it
love,
over.
Third set.
It's still a sudden death point. The
There
ball's
we go.
150 balls in.
Start from the top. Let's go. Count it up again.
Now, do we start counting from the last point of
I
the
think
ball
we can
count,
add it
or
up.
You can add it up.
We'll
All
add
right.
them up. Wow.
That was unique.
So has the drone been landed?
I don't know.
I would hope so.
I would have to think so. Otherwise, I'm sure we're not starting again. That's a good high lob there.
Hagman looking unfazed.
Yep. So I'm going to say this point's going to get up to 200 balls. Oh, there's the move.
Great
And
bail
a
by
great
Lofgren.
shot and the dropper. He's going to have troubles. Oh. Overplayed his hand.
Come
on that.
on! There we go.
Lofgren,
That is
they lead
a
the
great
third set,
finish.
3 games to love.
Great get there from Barker, and then Hagman, he hit that down-up overhead to Lofgren when he could have just pushed the ball deep down the middle, and that's what set that point into motion in a negative way. Wow, that was just it's kind of a strange set of circumstances there, Mark.
I think Barker just preferred to do the point like
Yeah,
that.
let's just say,
Let's start
that's
this point
enough.
again. We're going to actually play this one a little more transition-wise.
Wait, are you suggesting, Mark, that is Barker's drone? Or, that he actually
He's
has
there,
it fly
he's
up
living there in Cincinnati. I'm not saying anything.
Somebody's flying. Hey, if we play a point that's 100 balls or more, fly that drone up in here.
Launch it.
Oh.
Love 15.
Lofgren really reads the transition quickly. He sees when he needs to lob or drive very, very quickly. He's smart in those moments.
All right, so we got a clear thing.
Love
We don't have the
30.
score up there. That was, an interesting set of circumstances. And now Barker and Lofgren are up 3 love, and it's love 30. And Hagman and Murphy are going to have to tighten up the ship here in this third set.
They're going to have to launch their own drone.
Lofgren showing the two-handed backhand there. Haven't seen too many of those.
Yeah, he threw it out in the last game, 1 or 2. He has such a good forehand. I'd love to see him move a little. I guess Barker's forehand's so great as well. But, man, he hits it clean.
Yeah. He's just, he does a lot of subtle positioning, not a lot of, like lob and
Major
move over,
moves, yeah.
that quick move. He's almost like he's kind of waiting for it to get in his zone, and he probably feels most comfortable that way. Good sidewire move there from Barker. Oh!
Smart to let it go through.
Ooh.
You can
Dipping
see Hagman
angles.
just hang in there. Oh!
He's got that one.
Can't add it to the count.
Oh, Barker gets caught up in the cat and mouse there.
15-30.
Yep.
Yeah, he says sorry, and he's kind of right, because he kind of went back up to him with the volley. All you had to do was push it down the line for a safe shot.
Great
And
return.
15-40.
It's nice to have the equalizer, redeem yourself with that huge forehand return.
$30-40.
This is the time to buckle down.
As I said, Barker, back when he was in his prime, he was a very, very, very good player.
Barker Lofgren. They lead the third set, 4
Oh,
games
he's
to love.
fantastic.
It's tough now. Now you see the signals there. Barker was semifinals in nationals, I think a couple of times actually. Very, very tough. You see him give him a signal there to his partner Will Lofgren, who was serving there, and he's putting his pinky out. That you can add to the
15
count
love.
right there.
It's on. +1. So he threw his pinky out there, Brad. What was he telling Lofgren?
I think he's telling Lofgren where to serve, because they're not doing any movements at the net. So he's telling him where to serve.
15
And
all.
by doing that, he's getting a read on where the return might go. See, a serve that goes down the middle is likely to go to a certain place. A serve that goes wide, and it just helps them decide. They're not doing a lot of movement at that. You'll see a lot of teams do that, and they'll give 2 signals usually. One is where to serve. 2 is whether the partner is going or staying, meaning they're poaching or moving. Because, at this level, this national level of paddle, everybody needs 3 to 4 different service strategies or have the ability to do different things on their service games. It's just not that easy.
Correct. Did you use the signals when you were playing?
Very rarely, actually, to be honest. Played it pretty straight up most of the time, and we did do absolutely plays, but less signals. There's more talking in between. This play, we're going to do that. This play, we're going to do that. We absolutely did plays where we move, stay, poach, somebody stay back, serve and stay back, but it was usually a talk in between rather than the signal before. Signal's definitely more efficient.
Your partner definitely has to be comfortable moving their serve around if you're telling them where to go, though.
Absolutely.
Definitely not easy to just throw directions to your partner and expect them always to get it.
Now, clearly, Barker Lofgren way in the lead here, being up 4-love in the third set here. But it's one of these moments where anything can happen about it. You dip your energy just a little. You decide, we got the driver's seat. I'm going to go for shots I haven't been going for now, and you miss a few. Tide can turn. We've seen it even at the highest levels. Maybe it was last year. Berkshire Doya against Hughes Powers. They're up like 6-1, 5-love maybe, 5-1. Berkshire Doya hanging around. Powers Hughes start to press, try to win points. Then all of a sudden, they lose 7 games in a row, and they're going to a third set.
100%. That's something I always try to tell people is you can't turn it on and off. It's not like if you're up, you can just keep cruising. You really have to stay the course when you're up. This does definitely feel like a big moment. If Murphy and Hagman can hang in there and get a little bit of intensity, they could definitely.
30-15.
But, the better play on that volley would have been to hold it and push it behind Lofgren. Instead of he leaves it in front of him, it gives Lofgren another offensive opportunity.
Yeah, I think at this stage it feels like they're
30-15.
playing a little more like it's a Thursday night social.
That's right.
There needs to be if they get a little intensity, yeah, they can actually turn this around.
40-15.
Great lob there from Murphy. Smooth. Oh.
40-30.
Okay, 40-30. Could we see another sudden death point?
I mean, it's been huge in these last 2 sets.
Yeah. And this is where Barker and Lofgren just really want to play a solid point.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's so good in that transition.
Great
Game,
play
Barker,
there.
Lofgren. They lead
But
the
again,
Quick
third
Lofgren
set,
reads
5
that
games
what's
love.
happening when there's space or not.
He read it terrifically, but they take the net, and then Hagman immediately, instead of letting the ball drop and then just pushing it again deep and behind Lofgren, when you got a guy transitioning back, the worst thing you can do is bounce it down and in front of him. The ball bounces up, the guy gets a spike back down.
100%.
And that's, the point just turned. They took the net, and all he had to do was push that ball, let it drop, and push that ball low and through. He goes down and up, and you're 100% right. Lofgren's reading it perfectly, but he's
setting
giving
him
it
up.
to him.
Yeah.
He's giving it to him.
Absolutely. No, if you could stay calm in that situation and just push it, then you're definitely in a better place.
It's been funny watching the Murphy Lofgren battle. Lofgren takes that forehand down the line all the time, and Murphy keeps trying to drop it.
I know.
They've both gotten each other a few times.
Oh,
wow.
he's swinging pretty
Tattooed
free.
that backhand.
15
Nice
Yeah, it was
ball.
clean. Come on, Hagman Murphy. Fight back, yeah.
What's interesting is, the being up 5-love seems to have freed up Lofgren's backhand.
Yep.
But he's not going for a crazy shot either. He's hitting a controlled backhand, so I like it.
No, it looks
It's almost
good.
like we weren't sure he had it, but now that he's got a little freedom and a little breathing room, it feels more like he can use it more. And it would just be another weapon for him if he could do it.
Absolutely. Smooth transition there.
Oh!
$15-30. I beg your pardon. 5-all. Thank you.
I'll do side little fault there.
15-30.
Now 15-30.
He's the Nostradamus of umpires. Prophetic. All right, and now we got 3 match points here.
Let's see what happens.
For Lofgren Barker. And there it
Game, set,
is.
and match.
There it is.
To
Fault,
Barker,
winning return.
Lofgren. Third set score, 6-love. You're welcome.
All right, so we'll be back with another match at 11 a.m. But before we close out, Mark, what do you think? Anything, just closing thoughts on that match?
Absolutely. I think for players at home to take away is, one, really try to recognize big points. And they're subtle, as we were saying, that, there's those two in the second set where it feels like you're winning, you're up, you can sort of afford to let a loose point here or there go. It's so hard in paddle to turn it off. If you're up, you really need to stay sharp. That's the only way you're going to be able to close those matches. It's when you lose the momentum, it's just so tough to get it back. So I would say that's a big takeaway for people. And I would have loved to see a little more in that third set, a little more intensity from Murphy and Hagman at the right time. I think they could have turned it around just with that little more intensity.
Yeah, so that was a terrific match. We're going to be back here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live at 11 a.m. with the men's quarterfinal action. So we'll look forward to seeing everyone then.
Oh yes, stay glued to your screens. Great job, Brad.